got a really fun project for you today. We're going to be painting this really pretty clematis flower. The brushes we're using are the Procreate flower blooms, and my watercolor brush is available in my Etsy shop. Hi everyone, and welcome to Haley K Studio. In today's tutorial, we're going to blend the charm of stamp brushes with the fluid beauty of watercolor brushes and Procreate to craft a really pretty clematis flower. Whether you're a seasoned artist or you're just starting out as a beginner, this tutorial will show you a fun and easy technique to bring your digital florals to life. So let's get started. So what I love about stamp brushes is that it can, I've mentioned before, you can almost treat them like your own digital coloring book, and one that you create yourself. Every single day you can use a different stamp brush to have a basis as a new drawing that you create for that day. So today I just want to start with this clematis flower brush. And here is a pretty good size for where to start. And I'm also going to get my monoliner. I'm just going to use a monoline brush to add a little bit of a stem. Here's a nice little clematis flower with a stem. We used our stamp brush for the clematis flower in the middle, and now we're going to add our watercolor to that. And I have my layers here with my clematis flower and my stem, and I'm just going to combine them. And I will keep my clematis flower on top, so I'm just going to drag where I'm going to start my my coloring down. And when it comes to real life watercolor, typically you start with your background, you start with your lighter colors, and then you move on to your darker colors, and then you layer on. So you always want to start with your background. When it comes to Procreate watercolor, you have way more freedom because you're not dealing with real paper, you're dealing with layers on a digital canvas. So we can have the freedom to start on coloring in or watercoloring in our clematis flower. And now I'm going to use my watercolor brushes to start adding some color. So I am using my watercolor brush set, and I'm going to start with my round wash brush, and I have a palette of colors here. I call it Watercolor Flowers. It's one that I've just kind of developed on my own, and I'm going to start off with this sort of a lilac-y pinky purple, and these are all words, don't worry, don't be intimidated by my incredible grammar. Pinky purple it is. So what I like to do when I start layering my colors using my watercolor brushes is on my first layer, I like to do one continuous stroke on this base layer. Once I lift up my Apple pencil, it will add another layer of color. And you'll see I kind of went over the lines, I went under the lines, and that's okay because it's going to add character to this painting. And that is, just something that you can add into your projects as a beginner, not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to have fun and not put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect. So letting these little things go kind of teaches you to just have fun and not be perfect. So now I'm going to add a second layer of this pinky purple, lilac-y color, just on, just kind of making a very variegated or variation of color on the petals here. And you can add as many layers as you want, and you can use a blender brush to sort of blend these layers of colors together. I do have a blender brush in my watercolor brush collection. However, I kind of like that rustic and I kind of like the beginner look to a watercolor painting. I'm not trying to look like a professional watercolor painter or watercolor artist. I want to make something that's me and kind of represents my style, or the style of someone that kind of is going for the more rustic look. So I have just added this second layer, and I'm not actually going to blend it. So that is my kind of my base layer for my color of the flower. I'm gonna add a layer on top of that and grab this kind of lavender color here, and I want to try this Bleedy Blotter. And the Bleedy Blotter, as I like to call it, it's just going to add a little bit more dimension to the purples. See, these purples are kind of different, but if you look at clematis flowers, they kind of have a variations to the colors that are within it, not even like tonally the same. So we have kind of a reddish purple, and now we kind of have a more bluer purple kind of mixed in, and that is okay. And what I kind of want to do is I might turn down the opacity on this layer just a little bit so that it does kind of blend but not too much. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So what I think I want to do next is I want to add a little bit of color to this center. I'm going to add like a yellowy color. Okay, so on top of my top purple here, I'm going to add another layer, and I want to add kind of a yellow to the center. And I am going to just grab my basic round, and I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And I want it to kind of bleed into the purple around it. You'll see that these stamens, they're just plain black, and I'm not going to color those in necessarily. I mean, I can a little bit, because we can imagine that if, as a beginner, I am painting a watercolor painting, I may not blend my colors perfectly. My watercolors might bleed into each other a little bit more, and I kind of enjoy that, and it kind of adds some character to this that I enjoy. So I have that kind of yellow. I'm gonna venture into this one. I'm gonna venture into this orange right here, and go back to my Bleedy Blotter maybe a little bit and see if I can kind of see that coming through, because the space in here between these black lines isn't huge, so you're not going to see too much of the blending of this yellow and orange too much, but you're seeing it enough, and it kind of you can see it with you can see it through that purple well enough at this point. So now that I've got my flower filled in, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to get too perfect with how this looks. I enjoy this look of the watercolor. I can tell that it's watercolor, and that's what I'm really going for, because that's what I like. So I'm just gonna color in this stem and leaf real quick, and I would like to do it below my flower, because when you think about a flower, the petals and the flower bloom kind of come at you, and the stem kind of goes behind it a bit. So just to kind of follow that general rule of how a flower works, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my stem behind it. So I'm gonna grab kind of this deeper bluey purple. I think I want this rough round brush. So now I kind of have my flower and its leaves pretty much done, and I want to add a background to it. All I really want to do is, I don't want to take away from the simplicity of this clematis flower by adding a bunch of color behind it. All I really want to do is give it a paper texture behind it, to make it look like a real watercolor painting. So within my watercolor brush set, I have a watercolor paper texture, and I'm going to choose black, and I have the layer at the very bottom. I may change the opacity after I have laid this down, but then let's just go ahead and see how it looks after that. There's enough opacity within the brush itself that you don't need to turn down the opacity too much, but you can kind of see the difference. You see just that plain background, and now I'm going to turn on the watercolor paper texture, and it does add that real watercolor painting look to it. And it's very simple, and it's not overly complicated. I kind of enjoy very minimalist paintings, especially when it comes to watercolor, because I feel like when I do too much, I'm not leaving well enough alone. So you can add whatever backgrounds you like to this, but I really do like the simplicity of this. So, and it really just illustrates how fun it is just to use a simple stamp brush and then add color and dimension with an art brush, and you have made something that is pretty and simple, and you could print this out and frame it, and it would be a lovely little art piece for your bathroom, your kitchen, your home, wherever. So I hope you enjoyed painting this with me, and I appreciate that you appreciate the simplicity of it, especially if you're a beginner just dipping your toe into these live paint brushes that kind of replicate real life paint techniques. And thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed watching this, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more, I definitely want to make more of these. Please hit the subscribe button so you can paint with me again, and I will catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.